there's a crossing here. Huh. That wasn't actually a front line with Canada. Because of course it wasn't. That's obvious, really. Hindsight. Alright, off you go. Catching my submarines. We have no reserves. We just have the humongous escort. We have the humongous escort fleet. The humongous escort fleet is currently protecting my entire coastline, though. So, yeah, good luck with that. That's another 4 battleships, 2 heavy cruisers. That's because we haven't left port. What are you morons doing? Oh, I hate it when you guys ignore orders. Leave. Oh my god, what's wrong with you? No, I mean literally all of you. Go! They're bombing you. I lost all of those capital ships for no reason. I mean, admittedly, they're old and crap, so they're not going to do us much good at this point in the game. But still. Oh, it's worse than Pearl Harbor. There really needs to be a more obvious way of rebasing ships. That's my takeaway from this. I feel a rage quit coming. No, this is the kind of challenge I like. But certain mechanics could really do with being improved. Right, Naval. We need to invent better battleships. Like, it has to be done. We are really far behind in the naval race. And you guys are close enough to being ready. Not the purples. Purples staying put. Everybody else, though, is pushing because we want to take India out if we can. Hey, Elise. I don't have Patton, GN Fighter. He abandoned us when we became the true Confederated States. Why am I losing ships over here? I'm not importing anything. All trade has been ceased. Oh, that's another thing I need to do, is I need to prioritize what I'm producing. Strategic bombers, lowest priority. Carrier, very high priority, although I don't have a reserve fleet right now. See, this is why you need to be able to say, join the reserves. Which right now doesn't exist. In that case, I'm going to say just go to Virginia. We'll turn that into the reserves. Because that's where my reserves have been positioned up until now. And then we're going to shift click this, which will minimize everything so I can actually move things around. Alright, what am I short on, what am I not short on? Artillery we're not short on, tanks we're not short on. So therefore, tanks are going to go to the bottom of the list, convoys are going to go to the bottom of the list. Light tanks are going to go to the bottom. Super fortresses, transports can go way down there. Mechanised is going to stay. Artillery can go down. Carrier aircraft can stay where they are. Combat planes can stay where they are. Yeah, I'm going to need to find a much bigger source of steel and rubber. The Brooklyns are going to have to go up. The Colinas is going to be like the top priority at this point. 4 archers can stay there. Is there anyone that I could feasibly buy from? Brazil and Argentina I could. Chile and Cuba I could. That's probably it. Do we produce any more steel in America? Yes, actually we do. All 3 of those locations. Maximum priority. Repairs, minimum priority. We just need the infrastructure done. And in fact, I don't want to do this. No, it's not resource map mode, it's this. I'm going to get my infrastructure here to level 4 minimum, unless you're a steel producer, in which case you can keep producing. I just have far too many other things to focus on. I did say level 4. And hopefully, because of the sheer spread of stuff in China right now, that's going to be enough. So we want all of that built. We're also going to want these refineries built for the rubber. So, ports, air bases, deprioritized. Thankfully, we do have a lot of civilian industry still. We are the United States. We have a lot of stuff going on. Is this even winnable at this point? Yeah, I would say so. We want to continue expanding Minnesota. And we have 3 military factories, do we now? What does artillery cost? Steel and tungsten. I was hoping it would be more tungsten. And I'm going to stop building motorized. Because I have several 100,000 probably in use right now, and I want to switch out the mechanized. And as we switch them out, we'll be freeing up motorized. Right, and the other thing is... Why are you here? Leave! How do we cancel this? Shift... No, control click. Do not repair there. Do not repair in any of these. You will get bombed. Likewise, on the coast of China, you will get bombed. They're doing naval invasions already. Okay, hopefully that's that all covered. So you will only repair... The closest will be Hawaii. Hawaii, have we built up your anti-air defenses? No, we haven't even started. I'm going to instead upgrade your airbase at Hawaii. And then the air force that we have in Guam right now. Well, how many... We have loads of fighters. So actually Guam. My poor carrier planes are still left. You run both. There's 1,000 of you. Well, actually, let's split you in half. So we're going to create another wing. Which is 500 of you. Deploying here. Doing that. Doing that. And then in Hawaii, it's going to be the same thing. Around China we're actually doing okay, so it looks like the majority of their air force is trying to hit us here. Meanwhile, Stalingrad. You're looping around behind them. Take the city. No, you've been pushed back. Considering you need more dockyards than in the past, do you think the resources are still sufficient, especially for miners? No. I think that steel in particular could do with a buffing. The amount of steel available could do with being increased. I mean, that's something I've been saying in Kaiserreich for a while. But generally could do with more. And also, I do like the idea of these decisions, which allow you to expand your resource output. Because that's something which is like constantly ongoing. It's not just static. Right, how's the Canadian offensive going? It has stalled. Because there's nobody here. So how long until Canada capitulates? They're already halfway. So if we say the Marines are responsible with going up to here, and then the mechanized are responsible with going to here. Off you go. Oh yeah, and Vancouver must fall. Yes, sir. Japanese submarine in the Caribbean. How? Oh, that's an air place which should not be. Control left click, not right click. Which should not be accessible. This is being a very, very lackluster attack, I have to say, because like all of you guys could be advancing right now. How doing technology? We also need to get better encryption decryption. That's why we can't see how many troops they have. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put you in the reserve, because I think I can maintain one decent strike force. With all the ships that we have still here. There's the 1944 destroyer. So let's go and design one. Oh, also, I do need to increase the number of shipyards set aside for repairs. We'll go to 20, that seems like a good number. Okay. 1944. Destroyer hull, please. There you are. Which is actually going to obsolete the Voya. Vorach. So Inazuma, because your name is literally Destroyer Inazuma, you have been a name that I've been saving up for a while. So Destroyer Inazuma is done. Crossed you off already, apparently. And you are going to have a big ass engine. You're going to have some sonar. Sonar. AA. I'm going to give you a little gun still only. Anti-sub. Anti-sub. All of this stuff's going to need upgrading. Like, big time. And you're still really cheap, so good. We'll upgrade your surface capabilities, but otherwise, that's what I want. So the Voraches that we're building right now, we'll build one more of each, and then it's done. These Brooklyns are still tier 2s. Build one more of each of those, and then you're done. Hooray! We sunk a Dutch convoy. Right, new technology. We need decryption. We also really need radar. So I can start putting radar on my destroyer so I can find enemy ships. Shrinod Studios, thank you very much for the follow. And Saxmito. Did I say? I think I said you already. Thank you very much for the follow. Can I have a quick recapitulative of a recap of the current situation? We're America. We weren't Confederate because we're fascist. Ooh, why are we sinking ships in the eastern seaboard? Why are convoys coming through here? They shouldn't be. Oh, it's the convoys trading with Brazil and the like. Yeah, you guys are just being intercepted. I'm going to stop buying these in. I don't think we're going to get enough resources in to make that worthwhile. Germany went against Hitler, booted Hitler out, won the Civil War, allied with Poland, created Austria-Hungary, created the Kingdom of Italy by assassinating Mussolini, and got the Balkans plus Finland to attack the to attack the Commune of France, which was allied to Britain. Britain was a radical democratic state who declared war on the Middle East because they wanted their oil. So I don't know why they were allied with the Commune of France, but apparently they were. Then the German bloc declared war on the Commune of France, called Britain in. Britain's allies were called in. Japan went democratic, had a civil war, won their civil war. Never invaded China. China invaded most of the warlords, took them. Then made an alliance with the Soviets to fight against the Germans. The Germans pushed and pushed and pushed and basically wiped them out. India has been seeking independence for a really long time, and I was terrified that they would join the Soviets because that was the only option still available to them, but never did, which is why I invaded China, because I could not afford to see a India, China, Russian bloc formed against us. There's just too much manpower to fight against. And then when I was fighting China, something happened, and I'm still not entirely sure what, but they became Zibai-san-Ma, released all of the warlords that they'd conquered. One of the warlords, Shaanxi, joined the Allies, calling the Allies in against me. Oh yeah, and Japan's in the Allies. So even though I was fighting against the Soviets and China, I'm now fighting against the Allies because of that. And that's... I have no idea why. I have absolutely no idea why. It does look a little bit like Germany's fighting back. Possibly. Like, Austria and Poland... Yeah, they are definitely pushing back. This has been retaken, and there's cut-offs. Interesting. But Stalingrad, no, Stalingrad's getting more secure. This is literally the last thing keeping Russia in this war. The last thing. And it's not dying. This is going to be like the real Stalingrad. We could upgrade the close air support. Building planes, I think I would like to. Yes. Oh, you have no rubber, so you're going to be building stuff super slow. Well, we're working on the rubber production. We are building more refineries and we're also upgrading the rubber output of those refineries. So I think ultimately rubber-wise we'll be fine. Steel is the big issue. And to a lesser extent aluminium. Submarines versus Dutch convoys. Oh, we're not attacking because you are completely out of supply. Because none of my convoys are getting in. Because Stalingrad never fell. I think the Soviets might survive this. Somehow. Still losing convoys. That might have been before I cancelled my air trade agreements. I don't think that Canada will survive, though. France did ally England before they became a commune, but England could still kick France out, because I don't think they were at war at that point. In fact, they definitely weren't. I'm still losing why am I... Oh! No, really, why am I losing convoys? Was that set to avoid, but you could still leave from ship like here? No, most of the convoys are leaving out of Norfolk. Coming out here, and I'm losing the convoys here. I think. Because there is a way for me to get my fleet out. That's not impossible. One thing I do need to do is set you to reinforced, set you to repair. Those settings should still be the same. Alright, so slowly but surely let's start retaking our coastline. So with the 8 recon fleets that I have got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Really? We'll just do those. Alright, so we've got the rubber processing, which is slowly but surely closing the gap in the rubber shortages, and we have one more tier that we can do, plus the rubber processing factories that we are still working on. Then I have got my huge navy, the escorts, which I think we can take away from working here. Doing this. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to avoid you, which means that I then don't need to defend you, so you don't need to go there. Convoy escorts are perfectly happy with this. They say they can cover the whole area. Alright, so I have a route out of Asia if I need it. A very secure route, actually. I really don't want to do it, though. Because it's going to be almost impossible to return. Well, it's going to be a whole other game, like the naval war against Japan. Because I just need to re-establish supply lines to this. And then we are golden. So let's set you as not a void. Supply can flow through there. Right? Yes. I think. There goes Canada. Douglas MacArthur has announced that the cowardly Canadian nation could no longer withstand the pressure from overwhelming forces of... Whoa! Hello, guns! Canada had a bit of a stockpile. Well, in that case... let's make sure that this gets upgraded so we can keep munitions flowing through. And now that Canada is pretty much gone, we'll need to clear them up. Let's have you. Open up the front there, take that out. And open up a front here. Take that out. And then... oh, that's an actual island. That's probably okay. That's what Marines are for.
Attention.
You are currently taking that bit out. Which is fine.
Listen up.
And then you...
All in.
oh, I'm still in the order giving thing, that's why. Can then be set to fortify my entire coastline again, including the new Canadian coastline.